Hi, welcome to Hatha Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. For this practice, you may want to have a strap and 2 yoga blocks. Let's begin an auspicious pose in which you let the thighs splay open in front of you and cross the shins or place one shin in front of the other. And here are a couple more concise quotes from mindfulness teacher Jack Kornfield's book, Buddha's Little Instruction Book. He says, "To meditate is to listen with a receptive heart." And another, "Don't keep searching for the truth, just let go of your opinions." Of course, take everything with a grain of salt, but what I hear there is the first limb of yoga practice called Aparigraha, which can be translated as non-attachment, letting go. It's this flexibility of mind, flexibility of being, that we cultivate in the yoga practice. Not just flexibility of body, but as we open the body and open the breath, we hope to as well open the mind. So what an interesting way to say it, right? Not being so stuck on our opinions, but having the ability to see different angles and to perhaps set aside outdated limiting beliefs, to open up to possibilities. And that's what I invite you to do today, is to open up to possibility as we open our bodies. So sit in a way that you can feel the surface below your body. Press into it with your left and right sitting bones. Invite a lift up through the center of your spine and the back of your skull to the center of your chest. And place the left hand on the middle of your chest. Place the right hand on your lower abdomen. Be still. And begin to scan your physical body in your mind's eye, observing any sensations you're experiencing right now. Noticing your overall physical state. Sense where you feel the breath entering and exiting, and notice its pace. Notice its depth and any textures to the breath. In so doing, observe your energetic state of being. Now bring your awareness to your mind and what your attention is drawn to. The energy of your thoughts, the so-called weight of your thoughts, and how the kinds of thoughts moving through your mind are affecting your emotional state too. In Jack Kornfield's advice of letting go of our opinions, I invite you to allow moments of space between stimulus and response, between getting into a pose and either exiting or pushing further deeper into it, but just having space to really take the time and observe any initial reactions in the mind, any stirred up feelings in the body or heart. And really just allowing that space to, rather than, as he says, seek for truth, to set aside the opinions and just experience what is directly in the present moment. Now let the breath deepen into your nose, out to your mouth. A few more times like that, slowing it down. Begin to clarify an intention for your practice. What it is that you would like to focus your mind and your energy towards cultivating. And perhaps choose someone to dedicate your practice to today. Someone or something to offer your efforts to. And let's let's join our voices, chanting 3 ohms to start. Breathe in deeply. Continue to slow your breath down, and closing the lips, let's begin to practice the yogic breathing technique called Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breathing, used to calm the nervous system and steady the mind. So inhaling, exhaling evenly and slowly through the nose, softly narrow or constrict the back of your throat to create a gentle whisper. Listen to this rhythm in your breathing and see if you can keep it as consistent as possible through much of this physical yoga. And as you're sitting with legs crossed, let's switch the cross of the legs, ground through the sitting bones. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. Place your right hand down beside your right hip, and exhale, side bend to the right, rooting the left sitting bone further. Keep going as you inhale, press the pelvis down, but lift the lower spine from your hips. Exhale, keep side bending to the right. Maybe you lower the right elbow or walk the right hand further away. Hug your front ribs in towards your back. Relax your shoulders down your back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, keep the pelvis still and twist to your right side. Lower your left hand, either pressing onto your lap or against your outer right thigh. Lengthen through the center of your spine as you breathe in. Exhale, keep the pelvis still and keep turning your rib cage, twisting at your waist. We're going to focus quite a bit on the muscles that we're already starting to warm up. The hips as we're sitting here, the sides of the waist, the part of your core muscles called the obliques, the twisting muscles. Exhale, release. Inhale, circle the arms overhead, sit up a little taller. Exhale, lower the left fingertips beside your left hip and side bend to your left. Press both hips down. Inhale, lift the lower spine from your hips. Exhale, continue side bending. You might crawl the left hand further away or lower the elbow, or none of those. Hug your front ribs in. Send the shoulders down the back. One more deep breath. Lateral extension of your spine. Inhale, lift up. Place the left hand behind your pelvis. At your waistline, exhale, twist to the left. Lower your right hand on your lap or press against the outside of your left thigh. As you breathe in, press downward to lift up through the spine. As you breathe out, hug your hips still and continue rotating your rib cage. It's okay, Chloe. And then exhaling, release. Let's come down to our backs. We're going to continue a little more strengthening to warm up the obliques. So start with your knees bent. Rock a little side to side, giving the lower back a little welcoming massage in this supine position. Then extend your legs upright. You can bend the knees if there's any tightness in the hamstrings. Have your ankles stacked right above your hips, firm in the belly, so lengthen the tailbone forward. And then place your right hand behind your skull as you flare the right elbow open, and place the back of your left arm or hand against your outer right thigh. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders, and lower the right heel 2 inches off the floor ahead of you. Exhale, lift the right heel to meet the left. Inhale, lower again. Exhale, lift, keeping the head lifted. Inhale, lower. Exhale, 7, spiraling the torso. Inhale, lower. Exhale, 6, flex or point your feet. Inhale, lower. Exhale 5. Reach your left fingers towards the upper right corner of the room. Inhale, lower. Exhale 4. Steady breath. Inhale, lower. Exhale 3. Keep twisting at the waist. Inhale, lower. Exhale 2. One more, lower. Exhale 1. Keep the feet lifted. Lower your head. Relax the arms. Take a deep breath in and out through the nose. Keep the Ujjayi breath going. Place the left hand behind your skull. Reach your right arm across to the outside of your left thigh, pressing against it. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders off the ground, twisting to the left, lower the left heel to hover about 2 inches off the floor. Exhale, lift the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, 7. Keep lifting the head and shoulders. Inhale, lower. Exhale, 6. Point or flex your feet. Inhale, lower. Exhale, 5. Reach the right fingertips. Inhale, lower. Towards the upper left corner of your room. Exhale, 4. Inhale, lower. Twisting across your waistline. Exhale, 3. Inhale, lower. Exhale, 2. Inhale, lower. Exhale, 1. And then bend your knees apart into happy baby. Ground your tailbone in the backs of the shoulders. Take a slow breath into your nose and out to your nose. Catch the outsides of your thighs. Draw your bent knees together and begin to rock and roll forward and back, building momentum for a few times so that eventually you can rise to stand at the top of your mat in Tadasana, mountain pose. Joining your hands together at your heart, feet hips distance and parallel apart. Come back to the intention you set and re-steady your breathing. Taking 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and coil your chest up into a gentle back bend. Exhale, bow over your legs, pressing the ground or blocks in front of your feet. Inhale, raise your chest forward to rise halfway. Exhale, lower. Press to your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rising all the way up. Roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale to gather at your heart. So that was half sun salutation. Now let's take our 3 rounds of A. Inhale, arms overhead, back bend, hug the front ribs in. Exhale, forward fold. Press into your blocks or the ground. Inhale, lengthen forward. This time, step into plank pose and pause for 3 breaths. Stack the shoulders over the wrists, spread the fingers wide. Gaze at the ground ahead of your thumbs, legs straight or knees on the ground right under the hips. Activate the belly, lift the sides of the waist. As you exhale, glide forward. Bend your elbows to hug your side ribs, Chaturanga Dandasana, and lower all the way to the floor. Press down with the tops of your feet. Inhale to Cobra, rolling the shoulders back, hug the elbows towards your ribs. Tuck your toes, press the ground away. Exhale to downward facing dog. Being still for 3 deep breaths. Steady your gaze on one spot. So spread your thumbs flat towards each other. Stretch the index fingers forward and roll your triceps towards the ground. After the 3rd exhale, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Then inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Rooting to your feet, inhale, rise up. Coil your chest up. Exhale your hands together at your heart. Twice more, inhale the arms overhead with a gentle back bend in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow in Uttanasana. Press the ground or your blocks. Inhale, Arda Uttanasana. Walk to plank and continue to lower forward and through Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower all the way, or this time from Chaturanga, flip your toes into upward facing dog or Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here in stillness. So cultivate stability in your shoulders by rotating the triceps down, but keeping the palms still. And soften the back of your neck, lifting the shoulder blades up onto your back ribs. After your third exhale, walk or lightly jump forward. Then inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, coil your chest up. Exhale to your heart center once more. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Arda Uttanasana. Step back to lower or float into Chaturanga Dandasana. Finish your vinyasa, Cobra or upward dog. Then downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Slowing down your breathing and fine-tuning that quality of balance in the breath. Now from here, lower your knees to the floor, right under your hips, with your wrists right under your shoulders. Spread the fingers flat. Roll your triceps towards the back of the room and spread the shoulder blades apart. Lengthen the back of your neck and slide the shoulders down the back. Now firming in the belly, tuck your right toes behind you and straighten the right leg, pressing the right heel back. Firm the muscles in your right leg. Spin your right heel flat onto the floor, pressing the outside edge of that right foot firmly into your mat. Hug your left outer hip towards you. Try not to sway it to the left wall. Press the ground away with your left palm and your right foot and begin to raise your right arm straight up, stacking your 2 shoulders and wrists like one straight line. Keep lengthening the crown of your head towards your front wall as you slide both shoulders down your back. Hug your front ribs in towards your back and lengthen your tailbone towards your inner right heel. So we're in a variation of Vashisthasana or side plank. 2 more breaths. This is going to be quite a theme exploring variations of this pose today. Now, either lower the right hand to the top of the mat beside the left hand first, or try this transition with just the left hand on the floor. You'll lift the right foot and slowly step the right foot towards the upper right corner of your mat, entering a kneeling lunge. Sweeping both arms overhead with legs hips width apart, front knee right over the heel. Take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Keep your hips facing forward and lift the spine a little bit taller. Breathe in. Exhale, side bend to your right. So in this position, we're contracting the right side of your obliques as we stretch the left side of your obliques. Inhale, lift up. And from here, lower your fingertips and spin the left heel flat. Align the right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. Cartwheel your arms open to Warrior 2. Staying a few breaths, steady your gaze on one spot, just past the right hand. Rotate your right outer hip underneath your body to point the right knee out towards your pinky toe. Firm the top of your left thigh bone back towards you as you press the outside edge of the left foot deeply into the earth. A couple more breaths in Virabhadrasana 2. Now keep the right knee bent and facing the pinky toe. Rotate the right shoulder and turn the right palm to face up. Lift the sides of your waist, then side bend towards the back of the room in Peaceful Warrior. Landing your left hand lightly on your left leg, extend the right arm overhead, stretching open the right side of your torso. Breathe into that right side body and keep hugging in your front ribs. Inhale, rise up, straighten your right leg, maybe shorten your stance a couple inches. We're going to take an extended variation of triangle, which will further warm up our obliques. So put a micro bend in your right knee where you're engaging the front muscle of the right thigh. Glide your right hip towards your left outer foot, stretching the torso sideways towards the front wall. Raise the right arm, palm face up towards the front wall, and raise the left arm, palm face down towards the front wall, like you're holding a beach ball overhead. Keep sending your tailbone back towards your left outer foot, rotating your chest slightly towards the sky, and sending the shoulders down your back ribs. Now focus on one point with your eyes, and let's finish 3 more slow breaths in this variation of Utthita Trikonasana. Inhale, rise up to reverse triangle, right arm towards the rear wall. Exhale your hands to the floor, plank pose. From plank, just pause, firm the inner heels back, and exhale, lower your knees to the floor, right under your hips. Straighten your left leg behind you and tuck the toes, lift the sides of your waist, and lengthen the back of your neck. Make sure that your shoulders are stacked right above your wrists and you're spreading your fingers wide apart flat. Spin your left heel down behind your right toes and root the outer edge of the left foot firmly into the earth. Push off the right hand and raise the left arm up, entering your variation of side plank. Now feel the ground with your left foot and your right hand and press the ground away. Feel the energy rising through the left fingertips. Slide the shoulder blades down your back ribs. How's your breathing? Hug your front ribs in towards your back. 2 more breaths. Consider how you will transition to a kneeling lunge, whether you lower the left hand first or keep it lifted, and step the left foot towards the upper left corner of your mat. Sweeping the arms overhead to Anjaneyasana. Take hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Lift your spine as you inhale. Side bend to the left as you exhale. A few breaths. Keep pointing your left knee towards the front of the room. Inhale, raise your spine, lower your fingertips, and spin your right heel to the floor. Align left heel to arch of right foot. Then cartwheel your arms to rise up into Warrior Two. Land your eyes with intention, gazing past your left hand. Regulate your breath with intention. As you bend your left knee just over the heel, rotate your left outer hip under your body to point the left knee towards your pinky toe. Firm the top of your right thigh bone back and root down through the outer edge of your right foot. About 3 more breaths in Virabhadrasana 2. Keep the bend in your left knee as it is. Rotate from your left shoulder and flip your left palm to face up. Lift your torso, then side bend towards your rear wall. Peaceful warrior. Lightly land your right hand on your right leg as you reach your left fingertips towards the back wall and ceiling. Breathe down your left side body in this lateral extension of your spine. Inhale, rise up and straighten your legs for triangle variation. Maybe shorten your stance a couple inches. Micro bend your left knee, firming the left quadricep. Glide your left hip towards your right outer foot. Lengthen your torso towards the front wall and raising both arms overhead, turn the palms to face each other and send the shoulder blades down your back. Spin your chest towards the sky, steadying your gaze. Hug your front ribs in towards your back. Can you feel a similarity between this posture and side plank? Can you feel the activity along the sides of your waist, your obliques? Last 2 breaths. Inhale, rise up, reverse triangle. Sweep the left arm towards the back wall. Exhale your hands to the floor, plank. Pause in plank. And downward facing dog. Breathing in Breathing out. Return to that balanced rhythm in your breath. Inhale, raise your right leg behind you. And as you exhale, round forward and bend the knee towards your nose. Lift the belly high and stack your shoulders over your wrists. Then lightly as you can, step the right foot beside your right thumb and rise up to Crescent Lunge, staying on the ball of your left foot. From Crescent Lunge, use your right hand to cup the top of your right thigh, rooting that right hip down as you press your inner left heel back. Keep your two hips squared and even in height as you inhale to stretch your spine forward. Then exhale, twist to your right and choose your variation, either lowering the left hand on the floor or block on the inside of your right leg, right under your shoulder, or hooking the left elbow outside of your right thigh. Whether you spread the arms open or join the hands in prayer, or maybe take a bind, wrapping the left forearm under the right hamstring and wrapping the right arm behind you where the hands meet to clasp. Whatever your variation, as you breathe in, firm your inner left heel back and lengthen the spine forward. As you breathe out, hug the belly in and rotate your right ribs towards the sky. Now gaze at your right foot. Lower your left palm flat. Right under your left shoulder, place the left wrist. Bring your right hand to your right hip and roll onto the outside edge of your left foot flexed. Now let's take another variation of side plank. Step your right foot down the right edge of your mat, midway back, so the right foot and knee face the right wall. Here's one variation. Another variation is to stack the right foot flexed right on top of the left foot flexed. Choose your variation and raise your right arm straight up. Use the ground to push off of, lifting your left hip. Turn your right hip forward to stack. Check in with your breathing. Couple more breaths in Paschimottanasana. Now you can decide if you want to lower your hands into plank first or step the right foot forward to the front and center of your mat with just the left hand on the floor. We're going to come back to triangle pose. So aligning the right heel to the arch of the left foot, windmill your arms apart and with legs straight, open the arms wide. Triangle, glide your hips towards the rear wall, reach the right hand towards the front wall. Placing the right hand just to the right of your right shin, raise the left arm straight up and rotate your chest towards the sky. Here's the traditional variation of Trikonasana. Let's stay about 4 more breaths. Keep rolling the right glute underneath your body. Tack your right hip crease back towards your outer left foot and lengthen the top of your head towards the front wall as you send the shoulders down your back. Now let's take this blueprint shape onto a one-legged balance. Arda Chandrasana, half moon pose. Gaze at the ground ahead of your right foot. Steady your breathing as you bend the right knee. Walk your right hand, bring a block if you're using it already, about 6 inches forward and to the right outer corner of your right pinky toe. Drag your left foot forward and flex that foot, lifting the left leg to trace the midline of your mat, slightly facing down as the left arm is straight up or left hand on the hip. Half moon pose. Can you feel the shape of triangle here? You might extend the left arm overhead. Can you feel a hint of side plank here? Can you feel the sides of your waist supporting your balance? Few last breaths. Maybe raise the right arm overhead like we did in triangle pose. Take your time, bend the right knee, step back to warrior 2. And from warrior 2, inhale, peaceful warrior towards the back of the room. Exhale your hands to the floor, optional vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Allow a few breaths here to create space. And bring awareness to what's present for you here now. Then when you're ready, from downward facing dog, inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Lift your belly high and exhale, round to plank, stacking the shoulders over your wrist. Bring the left knee as close as you can towards your nose. Then step the foot lightly beside your left thumb. Stay on the ball of your right foot as you rise to Crescent Lunge. Use your left hand to cup the top of your left thigh, rooting it down. Firm your inner right heel back. Keeping your hips even and height, inhale, lengthen your spine forward. At your waistline, exhale, begin twisting to the left in the same way as you did on the first side. So either lower the right hand directly under the right shoulder, hook the elbow outside the left thigh, and open the arms, or join the hands in prayer. Or maybe take a bind, right forearm under left hamstring, left arm behind you, hands meet to clasp. Then continue to use your breath. Inhale, lengthen the spine, press back to your inner right heel. Keep your hips squared, and exhale, continue to twist. Look at your left foot and place your right hand flat on the floor on the right side of it so your wrist is right under the right shoulder. Roll on the outer edge of your right foot flexed. Step your left foot, tracing the left edge of your mat down midway to the mat, and either stay here or stack the left foot flexed over the right foot flexed. Vashisthasana. Root down through every part of your body touching the ground and lift your right hip. Reach up through the left hand. Few more breaths. Now choose to come into plank pose first, or do this with the right foot on the ground. Step the left foot front and center of the mat. Spin the right heel down. Align heel to arch and rise up, forward triangle pose. Glide your hips sideways towards your rear wall. Reach your left hand forward and place it on the left side of your left shin. Raise your right arm straight up, stacking your shoulders and wrists. Spin your chest towards the sky, gazing up perhaps. Few more breaths. Trikonasana. Remember the feeling of the shape as we'll recreate it, balancing in Arda Chandrasana. Gaze at the floor ahead of your left foot. Bend your left knee, crawl your left hand forward and to the left outer corner of your left foot. Drag your right foot in, flex it off the floor. Deep, even breaths. Steady your gaze. Now you might extend the right arm overhead. You might microbend the left knee and extend the left arm overhead. A variation we did similarly in triangle pose on the first round. Take your time to step back to Warrior Two. And once you do, inhale, Peaceful Warrior. This time, lower your hands to the top of your mat and step the right foot to meet the left, bringing your feet together to touch. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees together and let's prepare for a twist in chair. Join your hands at your heart, sink your hips back. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Keep your hips still and exhale, begin to twist to the right for a few breaths. Option to hook your left elbow outside of your right thigh. If you peek at your knees, make sure your left knee is not coming forward more than your right knee. Making sure your lower back is stabilized. Parita Utkatasana. One more deep breath here. Sinking your hips, inhale your arms up in chair pose. Exhale, rise up, join your hands at your heart. Deeply breathe in and exhale. Letting go of any opinions about what's going on. Come into your direct experience of what you're feeling in your body. Feel the sensation of your breath as you regulate your breathing. And let's return to chair pose. Feet together, knees together, hands together at your heart. Breathe in. To your left, begin to twist. You might hook right elbow outside left thigh. Draw your right hip back. One more deep breath. Sink your hips a little lower. Inhale your arms up, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, rise up to stand. So a class or few ago, I showed you different ways that you could choose to enter hand to big toe pose. You could start standing with your right knee bent and keep hold of only the right knee bent. You could clasp the big toe and extend the leg, then rotate the right leg open. You could use a strap around the ball of your right foot and kick into the strap as your right arm is on the inner side of your right leg. So take your choice to get into hand to big toe with your right leg in front of you to start. Oh, and the other option is to start in a forward fold with left hand on your left hip and your right peace fingers clasping your right big toe and then rising up while lifting the right leg in front of you. So come into this position and pause and breathe. Raise your left arm up, drop your right hip towards your inner left heel, and lift up from your navel to your crown. Then rotate your right thigh externally. Point the knee to the right. Open the right leg slowly, maybe bending the knee, and open the left arm to its side. Maybe looking over your left shoulder. Uttita Hasta Paschimottanasana. Let's take a few more breaths here. Can you feel a similarity to triangle pose if you were going to take the same shape in your body and step the right foot to the ground so the left foot would be lifted, similar to half moon pose? So bring the right leg in front, raise the left arm one more time, breathe in, exhale the right foot down. Just pause a moment for a breath. And then if you're going to switch the strap, place it on the ball of your left foot. If you're going to start in a forward fold, clasp your left big toe, right hand to right hip. Let's meet standing on your right foot with your left leg raised in front of you. Flex the left foot, kick it away as you pull it towards you. Roll your left outer hip down towards your inner right heel. Press into the ground to your entire right sole and lift up from navel to crown. Raise your right arm up, steady your eyes and breathing. Then turn out your left leg at the hip before you open the leg slowly to the left. Open the right arm too, finding the range of motion in which you can keep your spine vertically upright. Uttita Hasta Paschimottanasana. Maybe look over the right shoulder. Bring your left leg in front, raise your right arm overhead, stand tall for one more breath. Then step your left foot down. Pause. Allow at least a full breath here. Bring your feet together to touch. Knees together. Inhale, sit low into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen forward. Take your variation of your vinyasa to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, bring the inner edges of your feet together so they touch. Rotate your triceps towards the ground and spread your fingers flat. Inhale, rock forward into full plank with legs straight. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and press the shoulder blades apart and down the back. Hug in the front ribs and roll to the outer edge of your left foot flexed. Either step the right foot directly in front of the left foot or turn out the right leg and take tree pose, right foot inside of the left leg, right arm up, or bend the right knee in front of you and clasp your right big toe like hand to big toe pose, in which you might kick the right foot forward to straighten the leg and raise the right leg straight up, rolling onto the sole of your left foot flat. Whatever variation, steady your eyes, steady your breath, and come into the direct experience of your body. Vashisthasana. Slowly lower the right foot, come back to plank pose, take a vinyasa or child's pose, and let's meet in downward facing dog. A few deep breaths. Spread your thumbs flat towards each other. Roll your triceps downward and lift the shoulder blades onto your back ribs. Bring the inner edges of your feet together to touch. From downward dog, inhale, glide forward to plank. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and lengthen your neck. Hug your front ribs in. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot flexed. Either step the left foot directly in front of the right foot or turn out the left thigh and take tree pose, or bend the left knee towards your chest and clasp the left big toe, kicking the foot forward and then straight up, rolling onto the right sole. Whatever variation of this last variation of side plank, Vashisthasana, steady your eyes on something, find a sustainable variation of the pose, and let's tune into the breath. Slowly release the left foot, left hand. Take your last vinyasa or child's pose. We'll meet there. Slow your breath down. Notice the energy of your mind right now. What is your attention drawn to? What's arising for you? Creating space to observe that. Then roll your torso upright to sit, and let's give ourselves a fist bump for whatever effort you put in right now as we stretch our outer wrists. So keep that fist bump and place the backs of your fists on the ground about a foot or more away from your knees. Flare your elbows apart off the ground, stretching your outer wrists. You might gently shake your head no and make sure the neck is relaxed, the jaw is relaxed here. And then let's lower all the way to the ground for our final active back bends, coming into bow Dhanurasana. Slide your knees as close together as you can. Rest your forehead on the ground. Bend both knees and reach back with your hands to catch your outer feet. We're going to take 3 rounds of bow. So you have chances to vary the pose. Taking hold of your outer feet, press your pubic bone into the ground. Kick your feet back and pull them towards your glutes, lifting the knees. Keep the knees no wider apart than hips distance and coil your chest up. Slide the shoulders down your back and look on the floor ahead. Give yourself at least 4 more breaths before you let go and rest. When you rest, you might cross your forearms to rest your forehead on and just let the body be still. Round 2 of 3 bow poses. Slide your knees close together, bend your knees, either reach your outer feet or go a step further and catch your inner feet. Press your pubic bone down, kick your feet back and pull them towards your glutes, lifting your knees high. Coil your chest up and lengthen the back of your neck. 5 to 7 breaths, your count. When you've let it go, be still for 3 breaths. Last round, catch your inner or outer feet, or you could cross your forearms, not the shins, but the forearms. Crossing the forearms, slide the knees close together, reach the right hand to catch your inner left ankle, cross the left forearm over the right forearm or under it, and catch your inner right ankle. Kick the feet away, press your pubic bone down, and coil your chest up. 5 to 7 breaths. Last bow pose. And rest for 3 breaths. And take your time pressing yourself up to sit. Slide your legs out in front of you as we help to neutralize the spine in a seated twist. Extend your left leg in front of you. Step your right foot on the ground in front of your right hip, or cross the foot outside of your left knee, in which you might also bend the left knee. Backstroke your right hand behind your pelvis and raise your left arm up. Press into the ground and sit up a little taller as you breathe in. Exhale, twist at your waist to the right. Hold your right shin or hook your elbow outside of the thigh and maybe play with a partial bind. If you're hooking the elbow, you could use the left hand to catch hold of your left knee and wrap the right arm behind you where you slip the right fingers to the inner left thigh. Keep rooting down, breathing in to rise up, breathing out as you twist. The end of this breath, unwind. And let's hug the thighs closer together for Gomukasana, cow face pose in your legs, and Garudasana, eagle pose with your arms. So bend your elbows apart and cross your left elbow over the right. Press the backs of the hands against each other or wrap the forearms and palms. Send your shoulders and hips down as you sit taller. Breathe in. Exhale, hinge little by little from your hips. Press down with your hips. Inhale, rise up. Release your arms and legs. Extend your right leg in front of you and see if you can set up the same way in your twist as you did on the first side. Left foot in front of the hip or outside the right knee. Maybe bend the right knee. Place your left hand behind your pelvis. Raise your right arm up. Root down and sit up taller as you breathe in. Twist to your left as you breathe out and hold your shin. Or hook the elbow outside the thigh and or use the right hand to hold the right knee. Wrap the left arm behind you and catch hold of your inner right thigh as you twist. One more deep breath. And as you exhale, unwind your spine, but hug your thighs closer together. Cow face pose in your legs. Bend your elbows apart for eagle pose in the arms. Cross your right elbow over the left. Press the backs of the hands against each other, or wrap your forearms and palms together. Draw your shoulders and hips down as you breathe in. Lift tall through the spine. As you breathe out, slowly fold from your hips. Press down through your hips and inhale, slowly rise up. Release your arms, release your legs, and straighten your legs in front. Let's prepare for Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Either use a strap around the balls of your feet or clasp your big toes eventually. Root your sitting bones down, flex your feet, and press the insteps forward. Inhale, lift your spine. Then exhale, hinge from your hips, little by little. Inhale, lift your chest, roll the shoulders back and down. Create a small back bend as you continue to fold. Press down to your pelvis. Inhale, raise your heart and rise. So for one more minute, come to lie on your back and take your choice of supported shoulder stand with a block under your sacrum, legs up high, or shoulder stand traditionally, Salamba Sarvangasana. I'll show both. And only do the traditional version if you have no issues in your neck or shoulders. So here's supported shoulder stand. And traditional shoulder stand, make sure you get the elbows grounded really close to your side ribs and try not to kick the legs up. Lift the legs slowly so as not to absorb any shock in your neck. And if you're taking the traditional variation, you might also lift the legs overhead into halasana or plow. Gently lower your spine and pelvis. And let's meet for 5 breaths in fish pose before Shavasana. So with nothing under your body but your mat, straighten your legs forward and bring your feet together and relaxed. Slip your palms face down under your glutes and let your thumbs meet. Press your elbows, forearms, and palms down, and lifting your chest, tilt your chin back as far as you can do comfortably. Maybe the crown of your head comes to the floor. Take 5 clearing exhales through the mouth. So inhale deeply through the nose, maybe stick out the tongue for lion's breath and let out any sound. 4 more on your own. And when you're done, lower your head, hug your knees into your chest, then splay your feet apart on the ground and turn your palms up by your sides, closing your eyes. Let go of any more effort in your breathing or body. Let your body be still as you surround yourself with awareness. Shavasana. Resting where you are in stillness. Sense your physical state of being now. Feel the breath as it comes and goes naturally, and sense your energetic state of being. Sense your mental and emotional state of being. And as you keep your eyes closed, begin to gently move your head, rub your thumbs across your fingertips, wiggle your toes, and from there, ease into other gentle movements, simple ways to wake up your body gently. Gradually turn over to your right side and rest your head on your arm for a few breaths. Then press your hands into the ground, slowly lift your head, rise into a comfortable seated position for meditation. Sitting with dignity, find a way to sit comfortably, alert, and relaxed. Close your eyes or steady a soft gaze at eye level on one spot. Let's begin our 5 minutes of cultivating open awareness in meditation. As you allow whatever sounds, sensations, thoughts, feelings to come into your awareness, in cultivating open awareness, let go of any opinions about what's arising. Allow yourself to just have the direct experience of what it is and being in the present moment. As Jack Kornfield said, meditation is listening with a receptive heart. Notice how you're feeling at the end of your practice here. Let's place the left hand at the middle of the chest and the right hand at the lower belly. Now remember the intention that you set for yourself at the beginning of this practice. Call that to heart and mind. Then remember any dedication to someone or something that you may have offered this practice to. Visualize them receiving benefit through your practice. And now let's close, joining our voices in 3 chants of Om. Feel the silence at the end of each Om. Inhale deeply. Bow in towards your heart center, bowing to the light within. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.